The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 432 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
I'm convinced Hayden Christensen shot these scenes while shooting Revenge of the Sith in 2004. They looked perfect.
And prove that Star Wars needs to go back to theaters. It was a religious experience.
And I was like, oh, it's little Ahsoka.
Little Ahsoka, but with no tube top.
Yeah, exactly.
Clone Troopers. As soon as they came through the smoke and you saw the helmet, everybody went nuts.
And just for all of us fans watching, we're just like, yay, thank you, Ahsoka, for conjuring up Anakin for us. So we can get these moments. What the hell is that?
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland!
Here we go!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets love.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! So the big question of the day is skywalking through Neverland the same thing as traveling through the world between worlds? Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
I know, mind blown.
Mind blown, yes.
So think on that. But right now, we want to welcome you back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah in white.
Yay, I'm Sarah the White. In honor of Ahsoka the White. Yay, I'm all in white with my little Ahsoka necklace. I love it. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later.
Is it white or more of a Navajo or an eggshell?
This particular color I'm wearing, yes, it is more eggshell. It's actually kind of referencing the Padme wedding dress from episode 2.
For those of you not watching, I want you to make sure you really understand what color white we're talking about.
You know, I don't look good in stark white, so it's the off-white eggshell.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Skywalkers. Well, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. So it's time for your weekly Wookiee hug. And a sprinkle of pixie dust. And perhaps a little Purgle hug. For our family of Skywalkers. Now, on this episode, Spencer Jawitz of the Virtual Cantina is back with us, and we will talk about episodes 4 and 5 of Ahsoka, including spoilers. Also, we'll talk about Spencer's big screen Ahsoka fan experience and a special surprise he and the Virtual Cantina are cooking up for 2024.
Now, we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world. And best of all, this service is free. Yes, you heard me right. This service is free of charge, so head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you, and tell them that you're an Ahsokite.
Yeah.
Now, we are recording this from Long Beach, California on September the 13th, 2023. All right, Sarah, it's time for the big Halloween countdown.
There are 38 days till Halloween?
Oh, no.
No?
Guess again.
58 days.
No.
I can't do math in my head that fast.
Okay, 48 days.
48 days!
40. I tried to throw you off on our notes.
You did!
I want to see if that made sense to you. 48 days until Halloween.
We need to change the countdown on our mantle for today.
Oh, that's right, yes. And I put up some Halloween lights over here, but you can't really tell that they're that
Orange
they're on.
and black.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if we were to go out in our living room, it's all Halloween out there.
Deck the halls to Halloween.
Richard, you had such fun doing that. Well, I was getting my hair all done.
Yeah, yesterday I just took the day off and we decorated our house because the last couple of years we waited until the last minute. It's like, I don't have time right now, so let's just put up a pumpkin on our front door and call it a day.
No.
But no, over the years we've gotten so many Halloween decorations from Disneyland or Pier 1 Imports. They had those big cast iron haunted houses, candles. Wait, I'm just sitting in the garage, just collecting dust. So not this year. Now we're using them. Mm-hmm. And now we're celebrating Halloween like every person should.
And I got to add a new Halloween decoration that we just picked up at Disney parks.
Oh, that's right.
The little Minnie Mouse Hocus Pocus sipper where she is dressed as like Winifred Sanderson. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah, if you remember on the Oogie Boogie episode, we couldn't get one of those.
Right. So luckily, we went yesterday or the day before to Disneyland and it was still available at Harbor Galley. So if you're around, Harbor Galley is like the last resort for Mickey Hocus Pocus.
As you're walking around, everyone's like, where did you get that?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
And it lights up. Oh, yeah. You got to have one of these for your
so
Halloween Disney collection.
Well, should I get it to show them? Those of you watching on YouTube?
Yeah, and while you're back there, get Minnie Mouse to tell us the time.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to start integrating that back into the show. Last week, Racy Stacy reminded us that, hey, Minnie Mouse hasn't done the time in quite a while. So let's do that. All right, Sarah's running outside to get our Winifred mini sipper. How cute is this? And she lights up.
Look at how adorable. Her mini ears are basically covered with Winifred's wig. You know, her red wig that looks like Minnie Earhart. And she can stand up on her own. Her little skirt lights up in a mesmerizing way.
And if you're going to get these at Disneyland, keep your hand on her head at all times because throughout the night, we just saw these heads rolling down the street and through rides. The people kept losing the mini head.
Yeah.
So does it pop off very easily?
Oh, don't even try.
No.
So she has like a
straw.
A straw. So it's like a sipper. And I guess that folds in here somehow. But yeah, the whole head can come off, but I don't want to even try it because I think that's
it loosens it.
Yeah, it loosens it, and then you can't get it back on
all
properly.
night long. People kept losing their Winifred mini heads.
Yeah, so she's also like kind of unstable because she only has this one foot that's like, unless you place her just right, she like topples over. So, but yeah.
All right.
But still, worth it.
All right. So, Minnie, let me ask you, what time is it?
Oh, it's 11:43 a.m.
Well, thank you, Minnie. Thank you very much. Hey, it's very good to have you back on the show as our timekeeper.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, now, Minnie, ask me the big question.
What happened today in Star Wars history?
All right, thank you, Minnie. Now, see yourself out. So, on this day, 37 years ago, September 13th, 1986, ABC TV premiered the second season of the animated Ewok series.
Ooh.
Alas, droids did not return.
Oh, sad.
Now, not only did droids not return, but the fan favorite Ewok theme did not return.
Oh, no.
All right, so this is the theme for the first season of Ewoks. Listen to this.
We are the spirits from the forest roam.
All right, then they changed it to this.
What the hell is that?
Why they changed the theme song, I don't know.
It sounds like the Ewoks became the Partridge Family.
Yeah.
Or the Brady Bunch.
Well, they got rid of that worldly raw sound. Yeah, a lot of people were very upset with that.
I'm sure.
So not only did droids not return, but the classic theme song did not return.
Bad.
So Skywalkers, tell us which one you liked better. All right, now let's give some love to Star Wars Resistance, another animated awesome Star Wars TV series. On this date in 2019, Sarah, do the math. How many years ago was that?
Oh, 4?
4 years.
Okay.
4 years ago today, Resistance wins Best Animated Series on Television at the 45th Saturn Awards. And these are like the equivalent to the Academy Awards, but for science fiction and fantasy and horror.
Okay, that makes sense.
And Ashley Eckstein presents the award to Athena Portillo, Justin Ridge, and Brandon Auman. And during the acceptance speech, Athena Portillo thanks George Lucas, Kathleen Kennedy, and our Jedi Master, Dave Filoni.
Oh,
very nice. I'm just so happy that Resistance got this kind of love, because it's just very underrated. So if you haven't seen Resistance, go watch it now. A fantastic Star Wars animated series.
I love that.
Now, guess what, Sarah? Guess what we're going to do?
What?
Things we want to share.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
We are really excited about our big 10th anniversary show coming up. 10 years of podcasting, you guys. And we've gotten a lot of audio and or video messages, and we would love to get one from you. So if you haven't sent in a message, like maybe a congratulatory message or a message saying which episode has affected you or how the podcast has affected your life, well, you have until Friday, September 22nd to send one in. Now, a few Skywalkers sent one in while on the Galactic Star Cruiser. We have another from a voice actor.
Waka waka.
So now we just need yours. And we would love it if you shoot it horizontally, which shows up better on YouTube. We're going to roll them in to our live stream.
Yeah, if you saw our Facebook post from the other night, we had a great time sitting at Galaxy's Edge and working on our show and picking out the top 10 most downloaded shows and picking out clips from those shows. People would walk by, "Are you guys working?" It's like, do you know us? Yes, we're always working.
We're working.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So once again, if you have a favorite clip, a favorite memory, anything you want to tell us in your message, please. It can be as short as, "Hey, congratulations," to up to a minute.
Yes.
How does that sound?
That sounds great. We also want to announce that our 10th anniversary live stream will be happening on our anniversary, September 26th, which is a Tuesday, but it's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific. So as you're getting ready to watch the Ahsoka episode for the week, join our 10th anniversary live stream. Anyone can watch that. That's going to be live on Facebook and YouTube and stream different live places. And then on Wednesday the 27th, we are going to have a special Skywalking Force after party. So if you are part of the Skywalking Force at 6:30 p.m. Pacific on September 27th, that's going to be our 10th anniversary after party. That'll be just for the Skywalking Force. Now is a great time to join the Skywalking Force because you will get some swag from me that I've been creating. It's a Ahsoka themed swag, and you can see all the options available at skywalkingforce.com. So we really hope you join the 40 strong people as part of the Skywalking Force.
All right, with that, let's now talk with Spencer Jawitz about Ahsoka.
Who is this Jedi? Few would live to see what he became.
Your legacy is one of death and destruction.
Ahsoka.
Spencer Jawitz is one of the busiest people in Star Wars fandom, and he is here right now to talk about these last two thrilling Ahsoka episodes, the Ahsoka fan screening, and his big tour of 24. Hey, Spencer!
Hey, Skywalkers. Great to be back again. Thank you for having me.
Well, happy to have you back on the show as always, and we have so much to talk about, but let's kick things off with your upcoming tour of 24.
That sounds so official.
It does, doesn't it? I just made that up.
I like that. I might have to use that. So a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we decided that we were going to have events in between celebrations to keep the momentum going. You know, people want to be spending time with each other, and also, especially with 2 year overseas celebrations, people are hungry to hang out together and do something Star Warsy, and maybe not just in a regular kind of con setting. So in during COVID, we had our first family vacation where we took over Disneyland, Disney World. 60 of us did a whole long weekend, did Universal, Epcot, and Galaxy's Edge. You could imagine with 60 of us in the same shirt, lining up. It was awesome. We had a swag trading meetup by the Falcon, by Rise. It was just an absolute incredible event. And we have this opportunity now that we got the Virtual Cantina Family Vacation 2. You can call it the Electric Boogaloo if you want to. But we are taking over California the week after San Diego Comic-Con next year, the 29th of July through August 2nd. So It's going to be quite busy, especially those who want to do San Diego, then our event, and then go hit D23 the week after.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a lot for some people. We will be at San Diego for one day because since it lined up and it's a bucket list for a lot of us to at least do one day, we're going to do that. But starting off on the Monday, we're starting off with a tour of the Museum of Motion Pictures downtown in Hollywood. And then a lot of free time in the afternoon. And that night, we have our first Boonta Eve special edition live from the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, where we're going to have all your favorite activities having to do with Boonta Eve, including karaoke and some serious meet and greets. The lineup is absolutely incredible. We're not going to be announcing lineups until May the 4th, but what I can say right now about those meetups, cast piece. That's all I can say about that. Tuesday, it's travel day, and we're heading back up to Anaheim, where we're going to have another Boonta Eve special edition at Big's Bar and Grill. We're going to make sure the G is back up on the sign, and different set of meet and greets at that, and also karaoke as well. Wednesday, we're taking over Galaxy's Edge again.
Nice.
Thursday, chartered bus up to San Francisco, where we're going to have dinner and a not-so-virtual cantina meetup at a karaoke bar called Slate. And then Friday, we have meetups at 3210, going to the Disney Family Museum at the Presidio, and then do a family portrait at Lucasfilm in front of the Yoda Fountain with a special private meet and greet. We announced this with Hal Hickel.
Nice. Oh, nice.
So that's going to be a full trip. We're only going to be selling 70 tickets for this event. They go on sale December the 1st. However, our not-so-virtual Cantina meetup, our Boonta Eve special editions, and Disney are all public events. So if you don't get tickets for the full trip, you can meet us at any particular time. We want to make sure that you are able to spend time with your virtual Cantina family. We will obviously have some private things, including the sign with Hal, but still, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Tickets for this event include entry into Disneyland and all museums and a round trip from Anaheim to San Francisco on December the 1st for $450. Now, that does not include your hotel, your food, or your airfare, but it's very economical for all your activities that you're going to be doing over that week. And it's going to be absolutely incredible, and I'm excited to see as many people at all the public events, but also our private events as well. It's going to be a trip of a lifetime, and I just can't wait for it.
Oh, this sounds like such a big undertaking. How long have you been planning this? Since, like, 2001?
I would say probably just after I got back from London, we knew that we were doing a trip. And as soon as we knew the dates for London, for Japan, that's where like, all right, we knew we're doing Not So Virtual. Family vacation. We figured out the dates. We started planning. I started talking to actors and getting things situated with Frank and the rest of my team to figure out what we were doing.
Wow.
Awesome. And I think it'd be really fun to like crash Galaxy's Edge with you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty incredible. We're working on a bunch of things around Galaxy's Edge, including trying to get a private Saber meetup as well
nice.
for us. So, which we did actually in Florida as well. I will say that when I'm not joking about our lineup for our Boonta East special editions, if you thought London's lineup was good, this is next level. I mean, I don't know how we ever end up topping ourselves, but we do every single time.
Well, and once again, you said the tickets were going to go on sale on December the 1st, and where do people go to get those tickets?
So we'll have a link up on our Facebook page, also up on all of our social media, which I'll put into the comments a little bit later on. But they will be available. We'll have a private link, and it includes all your activities, your bus ride to and from San Francisco, as well as a trip T-shirt.
All right, and the Facebook page is what?
So just type in Virtual Cantina, and it's a Star Wars celebration or SW celebration, Japan 2025. Look for the group that has 61,000 members, and that's us.
Yeah, I was trying to find your page on Facebook yesterday. It's like, why is it not coming up under Star Wars Celebration? Oh yeah, it has to be SW Celebration.
Yeah.
Did you have to change that?
I don't know if it was a hoax or not, but I woke up one morning from people who are more involved in the fandom than I am saying you might want to at least change for now. And then if it turns out to be a hoax later on, switch it back, because you got 28 days between times you change it or not. So after all the information and all the things that we've done, to lose all that would be catastrophic to what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
So everyone who had Star Wars in their title and a Facebook group or page had to change it to SW.
Okay.
Because of reasons.
Well.
So it's going to be $450 for an adult and $400 for a child under 12. However, if you have a Magic Key, or if you're planning to go to San Francisco on your own car or whatever, reach out to me before tickets go on sale, and I'll give you a special coupon to deduct those prices from the ticket, so you can join us for everything and still utilize your Magic Key or your own car or whatever you want to do from there. But I think it's really great. It does not include food, hotel, which we do have some deals at local hotels already set, and also all the rest of your travels and getting to and from LA on either end.
Okay.
Well, this is already reserved in our schedule, so I can't wait to see the whole group.
Yeah.
The whole big gaggle of Virtual Cantina family members.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait.
All right, with that, let's talk now about your Ahsoka fan screening that was held all over the world last night, and we experienced major FOMO with that, because we couldn't get tickets. Mm-hmm. But tell us all about your experience and where you saw it and who you saw it with.
Sure. So I ended up getting tickets for the event up in Somerville. For those who know, Somerville is up in the North Shore of Massachusetts, Boston, really.
Representing.
In a place called Assembly Row, which has a lot of shops and restaurants and a big AMC theater. And I ended up going with a number of our members and running into a whole slew of members there, as well as the 501st NEG. So it was great to spend time with them, and a lot of them came in cosplay and in their racers. And one of the biggest topics of while we're in line was our good friend Marcus. May he rest in peace.
Marcus Doring.
That affected the entire fandom. Bombed down. Almost everybody has a Marcus story. But it was nice to be able to sit there and chat with them about Marcus and his influence into the fandom, into the 501st, even to influence what we do. But it was just nice. I lined up about 5 o'clock, so I was actually third online.
Oh,
because I didn't want to get cut off.
And the screening was at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Yes.
Got it.
So I just want to make sure I didn't want to get, because they said get 2 hours earlier because you might get cut off, even though you have these passes. So, I got there, was hanging out for a while. When they finally checked us in, they were giving away free popcorn and soda, which was great. But all of us who were like sitting there, like buying popcorn and soda while we're waiting online, were like, why do we? But we got pictures in front of the big Ahsoka banner, which was great. As well as they gave away the incredible episode 4/5 poster, which never could be finished if you are getting this autograph, but it's a great autograph piece.
Oh,
yeah. You had shown that last night on Facebook, and I'm looking at it going, wait a minute, I don't see Thrawn on there.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no Thrawn in this episode.
Spoiler.
Big Blue was the only thing that I had on my bingo card that was not checked off last night. Everything else I wanted and more was out of this episode. And I have to say that if you had an opportunity to go see it on a big screen, it was tailor-made for the big screen and proved that Star Wars needs to go back to theaters. It was a religious experience.
Yeah, and I want to say that Reynold is watching right now. He's in Manitoba. FOMO was real in Manitoba.
FOMO was real here in Long Beach, too.
Yeah, and if anyone else wants to comment, please comment. We'll share them.
Now, was anyone turned away? Because Sarah was saying that Trisha Barr was in Florida and seeing the Ahsoka screening, and there were people turned away at that.
2/3 of the line got turned away, apparently.
Oh, no.
People were bawling.
Well, understandably.
Which I would too. Yeah.
I saw pictures of Times Square. People, members were sending me of Philadelphia, of which I did hear that Dave Filoni's wife Anne did show up at the Philadelphia showing.
Oh, cool.
Was sitting in the theater with all the fans and everything of that nature. But one of our friends, AJ, who was actually the winner of Aldrin IO Anaheim, he was one of the last people before the cutoff in Orlando.
Oh.
That's good.
So he got in.
Timing is everything.
Everything. I saw our friend Mike Celestino got in.
Yeah. We were very upset with him last night.
Yeah, we were cursing Mike's name all night long. As soon as we saw those Purgles up on the big on our little big screen, we were cursing Mike's name. Mike, we love you.
As soon as I saw that, I turned to my friend next to me, who is a big Trekker, and I was like, "Admiral, there'll be whales here." So I got very much Nemo vibes out of that whole scenario. I don't know if you caught that as well.
I wonder if the Purgles were a direct reference to Star Trek 4. That's the right one, right? Star Trek 4,
Yes.
The Search for Whales?
The voyage,
Yes.
yeah.
The voyage to SeaWorld?
Voyage home.
Yes,
that's
so
it,
it's George and Gracie. The humpback.
I wonder.
I mean, they first showed up in. You'd have to ask Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Back at a Rebels Q&A, but yeah.
I mean, if you
I'm
want to
sure.
see that Ahsoka ship kind of looks like a Klingon bird of prey, I don't know, but
Oh, it does a little bit.
Her,
wow.
What, her T6 shuttle?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does kind of. Yeah, it's got that same shape. It's just not so jaggedy edge on the edge.
Yeah.
Or the USS Bounty, as they called it.
Well, it sounds like you guys had a great time. And once again, we're so glad that you were able to go.
Yeah, it was nice to go. It was nice to spend time with our members and other people. I mean, there are at least, I would say, a good portion of the crowd actually wearing Celebration shirts, either from Anaheim or from London.
It's great seeing something like this with like-minded fans, because when you ooh and ah, everyone knows what you're oohing and ahhing about, and everyone oohs and ahs at the same time over just the smallest thing. And it really is a collective hive mind at those screenings.
When they mentioned the name Kanan Jarrus, the place went nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We had
there...
to pause. I think it took us like 3 hours to watch this one episode, the Shadow Warrior, because we had to keep on pausing it and screaming.
So Spencer, what was like what got the biggest reaction in your theater?
Clone troopers. As soon as they came through the smoke and you saw the helmet, everybody went nuts because they're like, "Oh my god!" That, and then also seeing Hayden looking like Matt Lanter, Anakin.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
Even the same short hairstyle, those little hair flips,
Yeah,
the same
that's
as
true.
the animated Anakin.
Yeah.
Love the attention
And
to
that,
details.
his outfit with the armor.
Yeah.
That was great. Also, we realized that young Ahsoka was played by young Gamora.
Yes.
Ariana Greenblatt.
And she's also in Barbie. She is America Ferrera's daughter in the Barbie
That's fantastic.
movie. Yeah.
So,
well, this is her year.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right? Well, Barbie was in the theater next to us.
Oh.
So future. Just to detail, the throwbacks to not only just Rebels, but Clone Wars, to, the prequels, obviously. A call out to Senator Organa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so many moments to scream and shout during this. Sarah and I thought, are they going to bring her in? Maybe in a little hologram or something? Will we see a little hologram Leia? We would lose it. We would still be watching it right now if that happened.
And I also want to give a shout out. Not many people in the theater probably picked up on it, but seeing Brendan Wayne.
Yeah, as the X-wing pilot
pulls Ahsoka out of the water.
Yeah, and he is, of course, the stunt double for the Mandalorian.
Correct. So there's a great meme that someone did of Brendan in the X-wing, and it's the Leo DiCaprio pointing, but he's got the Din Djarin mask underneath it. Great callbacks, and the thing is, what I'm loving about this show is that, especially this last one, Dave Filoni. This is a love letter to all of us who've been watching for 15 years plus.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. All right. With that, let's get deeper into these two episodes.
Right.
Fallen Jedi and Shadow Warrior.
Right.
Now, if anyone has not seen these two episodes, turn back now because there will be spoilers.
Attention, Skywalkers. Spoilers ahead.
Warning.
Attention, Skywalkers. Spoilers ahead.
Warning.
Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead.
All right, so as a recap, Fallen Jedi is episode 4 of the Ahsoka series, and here Ahsoka dusts the Red Blade mercenary Marok into green Night Sister mist while Sabine battles Shin Hati. With Sabine bested and taken prisoner aboard the Eye of Sion, the powerful hyperdrive ring finds the coordinates to Thrawn and jumps to hyperspace. Later, when Ahsoka battles Baylan Skoll, he backs her over a cliff where she tumbles into the world between worlds, where she is greeted by her old master, Anakin Skywalker.
Okay, I'll read the Shadow Warrior summary. Why don't you tell everyone in the Sky Chat that turn back now if you've not seen these episodes. All right, in Shadow Warrior, in the world between worlds, Ahsoka asks Anakin what happened, and he tells her, "You lost a fight." She remembers some of what happened, and in her final moments, she remembers some of what happened to her in her final moments, which Anakin reveals is a good thing. If she remembers what happened, then there's a chance for her to survive this whole ordeal. And during an intense lightsaber battle, Ahsoka is thrown into a Clone Wars flashback, and she is taken aback by all the deaths surrounding her. Later, she is pulled from the ocean after Jason Syndulla feels her presence. As the New Republic fleet arrives to admonish Hera on her unsanctioned mission, Ahsoka and Huyang fly into the mouth of a large purrgil and blast off into hyperspace to find their friend Ezra and stop Thrawn from starting another war.
Woo!
Oh. All right, so Spencer, do you want to kick us off with your initial thoughts on these two episodes?
Honestly, this is the complete polar opposite from Andor, which I thought was completely perfect in its own right. I'm loving this show because, like I said, I feel this is a love letter to those who are Rebels fans and Clone Wars fans. And getting the extra, season 5, if you want to call it that, of Rebels, even in a different medium, it feels just like you're watching the cartoons. Like it didn't feel like a different element. The last 2 episodes back to back were absolutely insane. And sometimes you're watching a show where you get one incredible episode and then you get an okay episode. I really don't feel that this series has had, even the shortest episode, had a lot going on for it. And these last 2 were just like, if we got 3 more left and we haven't even seen Thrawn yet, I don't even know what to think. I mean, after episode 2, you're caught up to the epilogue of Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else was, brand new. Like it was new stories or anything of that nature. You finally got up to that one, the pickup on the fall. I mean, I had to sit and watch the episode on a regular conventional television now. But that last episode that we saw last night is some of the best live action or the best Star Wars, honestly, we've had in a really long time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, do you want to tag off of that? You know,
Sure.
as a side note,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think there's ever been a situation where a TV series went from animated to live action before.
Like so well.
So
I mean, you have to call out Star Trek. They just did that crossover episode.
But that was a crossover. But yeah, like you were saying, Spencer, this really is Rebels season 5.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if this has ever been done before, and I've got
Yeah.
very limited knowledge on anime and a lot of other deeper dive animation. So maybe I don't know. So if I'm wrong, please someone let me know if this has ever been done before.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so I do have to say, like, anytime Anakin and Ahsoka are together on screen, especially after all that groundwork they laid in the Clone Wars, it just is so emotional. Like, for all of us fans who have grown up with that, like, and then I loved seeing that, what was it, like a 7-minute thing on Disney Plus where the Master and
Yes.
the Apprentice, the behind the scenes where Dave basically kind of laid out how Ahsoka became a Padawan. He was like, well, this Ahsoka character, and George Lucas liked it, and he's like, that's Anakin's Padawan. And he
But
goes,
George, but Anakin doesn't have a Padawan. Yes, he
Yes-
does.
yes, he does.
Now he does.
I loved that. I was like, that's, and just that one like conversation has like changed Star Wars and gone into so many people's hearts. Like, I think that's just incredible. So
But just by looking at all those Ahsoka cosplayers.
yeah. Yeah. So I just think it's beautiful. So, okay. So going back to episode 4, which is Fallen Jedi, I feel like the lightsaber battles in that were so great, but the best moment for me in that particular episode was when Balin had thrown Ahsoka off the cliff and then was battling Sabine, and then he took a breath and realized he turned off his lightsaber, put it on his belt, took this like moment and realized that he could change Sabine's mind and like get her, like manipulate her into joining him. He says, join me. And then he also says, do it, which are, you know, like
You combine the Vader
Yeah.
quote and an Emperor quote.
yeah, it was amazing. And I was so like, even though I love Sabine, I mean, she's my artistic character connection in Star
Right.
Wars. I love her, but I wanted her to give back that map to Balin because I knew it would be so interesting for the story. So I was so excited about that moment in that episode. And then going to Shadow Warrior episode, it felt like a movie, and this episode just kept going and going, and like each moment, each scene was like a little Christmas gift that we kept on unwrapping, and there was like 6 or 7 gifts right after we thought it would end.
It's like a gift of Russian nesting dolls.
Yes, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And I mean, yeah, like, and down to the fact, like, we kept on getting gifts of things we didn't know we wanted to see in live action, which especially like, what is it, Ahsoka falling down in her World Between Worlds area and becoming little Ahsoka, and she's in that outfit. Like, I recognized it right away. Her montrals were smaller, and I was like, oh, it's little Ahsoka in the
Little
Clone
Ahsoka, but
Wars.
with no tube top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I spotted that right away.
Yeah, that was the season 2 outfit she was wearing.
Yeah.
She also had the Clone Wars sabers too. She had the long tube version as opposed to the flat Rebels version.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then I have to say, one of my favorite things in this episode was Ahsoka the White. She comes out of the ocean and you see her in pajamas with like little feet booties or something, and you don't see her with her little what is that, like head thing? So
yeah, that's cool.
The latex seam hider.
Yeah. So that was interesting to see, but then she puts on that white cape kind of half on, and then by the end of the episode she's full Ahsoka the White, and she looks gorgeous in white, and now I want everything.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are making the connection with Lord of the Rings, but it's like talking sports and politics with me.
Well, okay, the only reason I'm making that connection is because I remember our discussion with Dave Filoni at the Star Wars Rebels Season 4 like press conference wrap-up, and it was Amy Ratcliffe who brought up Lord of the Rings and equated
Gandalf.
that. And Gandalf.
The fact that I knew that name says so much for me. That's
Dave,
the only thing I know about Lord of the Rings.
And so she asked him about that, and Dave Filoni confirmed that that's exactly what he was thinking for Ahsoka. So that's really cool. Okay. Richard, what are your initial thoughts?
All right. For me, Fallen Jedi was a phenomenal episode from start to finish. But I think it was like more of an appetizer to what we got in Shadow Warrior, which says a lot because Fallen Jedi was a phenomenal episode, and to refer to it as an appetizer for Shadow Warrior, I think that says a great deal about what I thought about Shadow Warrior. And I don't know if we ever gotten this powerful 1-2 punch in Star Wars TV before. And we've had phenomenal Star Wars TV. I'm a huge fan of every single Star Wars TV series, and I just think that this episode here, like you were saying, Spencer, this is not just a love letter to Clone Wars and Rebels fans, but to Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
From start to finish. There's so much intense drama, action, comedy. It's so well versed in Star Wars lore, especially if you know Star Wars lore, if you know Rebels, then you're going to be screaming. It's like seeing a Beatles concert in the 60s. You're screaming so loud, you don't know what's going on.
Right. I'm nervous for 6 through 8 because 4 and 5.
Oh, yeah, we know what's coming. And with these episodes, we get fan favorite Purgles. I've always loved Purgles. We get the world between worlds, the best of Grumpy Chopper, and Anakin Skywalker, who I'm convinced Hayden Christensen shot these scenes while shooting Revenge of the Sith in 2004. They looked perfect.
So I saw Hayden in Boston for Fan Expo Boston, and actually had him sign my Ahsoka print, and he didn't bat an eye. So I was like, okay, he's not stopping it. So I have him on the Ahsoka print already. But seeing him, and also the eyes changing.
Yeah.
And also,
oh yeah, from the Sith eyes.
And also the one thing, I don't know if anybody else caught this, but there was a great meld, if you will, transition where Anakin's walking into the smoke, and it fades into Vader and fades back into Anakin as he's walking in the silhouette. Reminded me very much, if you remember the Temple of Lothal that the Emperor had when he was melding between Emperor and Chancellor Palpatine when he was talking to Ezra.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very much so.
And a little bit like Ahsoka walking away from either the Jedi Temple or in Twilight of the Apprentice when she walks down the steps of the temple into smoke.
Right. Into that triangle of darkness.
Yeah.
Now, one final thought. The rendering on Hayden Christensen in Fallen Jedi, I think it didn't look completely fully rendered because that was symbolic to Ahsoka's she couldn't wrap her head around what was going on. She couldn't fully render the situation. So I think that's why they gave Hayden that little bit of a plasticky, non-realistic look. I know a lot of people were coming down on the CGI rendering, but I think that was very symbolic to Ahsoka not getting her head fully rendered around the situation. And I think that was just a perfect way to go for this for this 1-2 punch.
Well, should we talk about that? Should we talk about this world between worlds? Is it the world between worlds, or is it in Ahsoka's head?
Yeah, I believe the latter. I think this was in Ahsoka's head. Once again, Anakin wasn't fully rendered, and when she flashed back to the Clone Wars, she was the younger Ahsoka, but with her older consciousness. And by the end, she reconciled with Anakin that she wanted to live, and moments later, she was pulled out of the ocean. And plus, reality doesn't alter in the world between worlds, so I believe it's in her mind. Then when she was pulled from the water, she didn't go through a portal. So all these add up to this being in her mind. But Spencer, what do you think?
So to quote Dumbledore in Deathly Hallows, which this was very much like the Void after Harry is hit with the Avada Kedavra, just because it's in your mind doesn't mean it's not real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this was very much to me just like when Harry's in that Void world talking to Dumbledore before he goes back to the Forbidden Forest. So there was something for her to learn in that capacity. And being able, like when she said one line, well, everybody called you dangerous, Anakin. And he went, like that. And so she needed to reconcile what happened in their last fight and also reconcile, their relationship at the end.
Okay, yeah. And I also see that whole thing in Ahsoka's world between worlds, that's what I'll call it, in her mind, as her fight for life. Like she is on the brink of death. She's like having a near-death experience, basically. And Ahsoka, she's presented the choice with life or death in this, and she has to fight for her own life. And her mind is conjuring up an image of Anakin giving her that choice. So yeah, I think that's amazing. And just for all of us fans watching, we're just like, yay, thank you, Ahsoka, for conjuring up Anakin for us so we can get these moments.
Oh, very much so.
Let us know what you think, Skywalkers.
I know we've talked about this before, but they really need the world between worlds at Galaxy's Edge. That way we can go through the many iterations and generations of Star Wars fandom.
Well, you already have that, considering the fact that now you guys have Hera, Chopper, Ahsoka, Mando, Rey,
Grogu, Fennec Shand.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, so it's funny when I hear all these videos and stuff trying to figure out this world between worlds and how it connects with other world between worlds, because I feel like it's just all Ahsoka's mind, and they're just kind of going off like on the Merrick theories. It's like, dude,
and
pull
the fact
back.
when she's talking to Anakin on that bridge, what you want to call it, you don't see any of the portals behind them. Whereas in the Rebels episode, when she's talking to Ezra out on those bridges, you see tons and tons of portals.
Right, and she's been to the world between worlds, so maybe her mind is conjuring that image.
But now, if this were really their world between worlds, how awesome would it be if you saw all these portals and you saw little glimpses of Clone Wars episodes or Rebels episodes or seen some of the Star Wars films?
Oh, absolutely. And my biggest worry was that it was going to be Ahsoka Tano, this is your life. And we didn't get that. So no, there's so many opportunities from there, but I think they did it respectfully and graciously, because unfortunately, and what's with you people for not watching Rebels, but for those who didn't watch Rebels, the world between worlds would be too hard for them to comprehend without context.
Right.
So
right. And I'm so glad they went to the world between worlds, because that was one of my favorite arcs in Rebels, and to see this will keep Star Wars away from a multiverse.
Right.
If we have the world between worlds, that's as close as we're gonna get. Do not go to a multiverse, and I think this is a way to stop them from doing that.
Yeah. Now, Jeff Caffrey, he's commenting, the Clone Wars scenes were amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah, they really were. And to see the actress from Infinity War,
Ariana Greenblatt as little Ahsoka,
Yeah.
and you see the Phase 1 clone trooper armor, You see the Anakin in his Clone Wars outfit.
Rex.
Ahsoka.
Rex.
Captain Rex.
Oh.
Now, I've got a beef with this I'll talk about in a little bit, but yes, we did see Captain Rex in live action.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'll say it now. Why he wasn't voiced by D. Bradley Baker. I understand you've got to have Tamara Morrison voice him because of the continuity of live action. I get it. But come on. D. Bradley Baker. Come on.
I also do miss Ashley Eckstein's voice too for Ahsoka.
Yes. There's a beef there we'll get into later on.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it now. Why wasn't Ashley Eckstein used in any of these flashback scenes? Why?
Has anybody talked about the picture that's on the console of the ghost of Kanan?
Not.
They show that little really pixelated picture of Kanan. You can't tell if it's a live action. Is that Freddie Prinze Jr.'s head in there? Is it the animated Kanan?
It looks like Freddie Prinze Jr.
It does. It really does. But it's so blurry and out of focus. You can't tell what's going on. Jeff Caffrey says in Sky Chat he thinks it's Freddie.
Mm-hmm.
It does. If I were a betting man, I would say Freddie Prinze Jr. as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, now do we think we're gonna see Kanan at all? In any way, or hologram or anything, flashback. I'm gonna say I hope we don't.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to do the best of the greatest hits. Let's leave some things to the side.
Okay.
I agree with you.
All right, so let's get into a discussion on the Force and how it's being used in this series versus how we've seen it before in Star Wars. And I'll start. Dathomir Witch magic. Love seeing this from Morgan using it to open up the map to also, I mean, she basically made a Night Sister zombie out of Marok.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's amazing. I love that.
That wasn't Ezra? I could have sworn they were going to go the Ezra direction.
Come on, how great would it have been if it was Starkiller and it ended up being Sam Witwer?
I'm so glad it wasn't.
I thought it was gonna be Jar Jar in there. So many things. It could have been Lumpy. It could have been a Hoojib.
Yeah.
It could have been Stinky.
Stinky the Hut.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to get into the fact that Ahsoka is training Sabine, who is not Force sensitive or has very little Force ability, according to Hu Yang, who spelled that out a couple times.
Everyone needs a Hu Yang in their life.
Yeah.
Yes, you suck.
Yeah, no kidding. It was so funny. So, I mean, what do you think, you guys, of, Ahsoka training Sabine, who is not technically Force sensitive in the way we expect?
So I felt like Sabine's like a squib, if you want to go into Harry Potter, like someone who might have some sort of abilities, but is not maybe mutated correctly. So I'm not quite too sure, but I mean, you even saw in this last episode how Huyang and even Ahsoka were giddy about Jason and his abilities so far after what happened with Sabine. So, I mean, you had that great conversation when they're walking back to the ship. Are you going to train me? No. You going to help me build a lightsaber? No.
That was amazing.
I love Hu Yang.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And we got the doctor doing the voice, so that made it even, that much better.
Nice.
I mean, I think that one of the things, I loved about Last Jedi, I have to say, is that Broom Boy, that scene, was all of us growing up playing with figures and wishing we had the Force. And it kind of showed that the Force is kind of available to anybody in some capacities. I understand the Force flows through everybody and has different mutations and whether or not you can grasp it or not. But also, if everybody has it, it's a little bit less special, I look at it. Like you looked at it, they were kind of either respected or feared for having this. And if everybody had it, then it's almost like, the society that Magneto wanted in X-Men. He just wanted all mutants to be running the world. So it's interesting, see where it is, but it's nice to see different interpretations of where, the Force is.
I've never seen any kind of thought that Broom Boy was Merrick.
Oh no, I haven't.
No, but everyone's gone every which way.
Well, I saw a theory that someone said that Balin Skoll was actually Ross Beedman's character. He was the first to die. Like, no.
Yeah, he was that little boy Jedi that Anakin struck down when they stormed the Jedi Temple in Revenge of the Sith.
Got it.
Now, I do love the fact that Ahsoka is now training these non-Force wielding Jedi, because a Jedi, really, by definition, is a guardian of the galaxy. That's what a Jedi is. It doesn't mean that you have the Force. If you have the Force, are you a Jedi? No, the Jedis are the guardians of the galaxy, and Ahsoka is training her to be a guardian of the galaxy. She's training Sabine to be this guardian.
Absolutely, because I actually made a reference the other week that Sabine is our Star Wars Star-Lord.
Oh,
there you go.
Wow.
Because very much so.
He's the one who basically caused Thanos, if you remember that whole scenario, when they were about to get the gauntlet off of it, and he, punches him in the face and curses at him and tries to get that. And then Sabine basically gets her heartstrings pulled and gives the map over. I'm like, okay, she just needs to have a dance off with Thrawn, and she's Star-Lord.
That's cool.
And Thrawn and the played by Lee Pace in Guardians of the Galaxy, they're both blue.
Right.
I forget the name of the character.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ronan.
But this could really
Ronan,
thank you. This could really open the doors for new Jedi academies. You have Luke, who's just really focusing on the Force wielder Jedis, and you could have Ahsoka having a whole new franchise branch of training Jedis who are not Force wielders, but who can train to fight like a Jedi.
Right.
Right.
Well, I have something about the Force. Like, I feel like Ahsoka, she herself is a very unconventional Jedi. I believe Hu Yang says that, right? She walked away from the Jedi Temple because she didn't like the structure of it. She just knew she wanted to be a good person herself, and she knew how to do that without that structure. And I feel like she's teaching people to walk in that way, like that mindset versus some of the abilities. And I also feel that like she's training Sabine especially to basically be the best she can be at her special gifts, which in her case, Sabine's case, is art. She's also really great with weapons. Like when she was fighting Shin with her blasters, like she was winning, and instead of the lightsaber where she doesn't feel as confident. And so one of the things Ahsoka says is, I don't need Sabine to be a Jedi. I need her to be herself. And she's training Sabine to believe in herself and her abilities. Now, unfortunately, she didn't get a chance to finish that training before Sabine was, seduced by Balin, basically. But I feel like this is a big deal in Force. And like, I don't know about you, but like when I was growing up and I'd play in symphony orchestras, there'd be a moment where I'm playing and I just felt like I was on a different plane because because you're using your ability as best you can with all these other people, and it's just creating this amazing symphony. And so I feel like if Sabine really lets go and gives into the power of her gifts, that's how she could use the Force rather than telekinesis or move that cup, right?
Oh, yeah,
I never want her to move the cup.
No, or a rock.
Yeah,
there's so many different ways to define this. And I was going to say, well, one of her strong points is loyalty, but no, she doesn't have loyalty. But yes, she does. She has got loyalty to Ezra. And that is that's why she gave the map over to Balin, because in the end, her end game is to save Ezra, which is the definition of loyalty to your family.
Yeah.
But she also, remember the last part of Rebels, he said to her, you know what to do. I can't wait to see you again. So she's also trying to fulfill her promise to Ezra for letting him go, that she will come back here.
Yeah, the circle is now complete.
Yeah, and even now Jason in this episode, we get to see him in his Force ability.
Yeah.
When he's like, Mom, I sent something, mom. and so, he's hearing lightsabers in the ocean. Like, that is so cool. But Patty Hammond is saying, I was amazed that Hera could hear the lightsaber fight, which, yeah, I'm kind of amazed too. But that's one of those psychosomatic things, I think, like once you say it,
exactly.
then all of a sudden you're hearing it. So the fact that Jason could sense what Ahsoka was happening in her head, like, he definitely has Force ability.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they filed said it when they made the announcement. They was like, well, his father, Kanan Jarrus, not Kilo Dune, Kanan Jarrus, was a Jedi. So it was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. But the fact that he's so in tune right now, and maybe I also took the Hera scenario as you don't see or hear what's right in front of you until you actually listen, like listen to the waves. And maybe because I'm concentrating on my senses, that she was able to hear what Jason, who was more in tune with it.
Yeah, and Hera had so much going on. She was about to be demoted by the New Republic. She was going to be admonished by Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
If that happens, you don't have much of a future. So she's being pulled in different directions.
Did we talk about the fact that Mon Mothma has become a puppet? Like, after everything we've seen her go through in Jedi and Andor, she's basically now a bureaucratic puppet.
But I think I think she's gonna rise above that, because she's very, very powerful. She's very smart, and she has got the New Republic weighing down on her, like she had the whole galaxy weighing down on her for her whole life. I think that at some point she's gonna say, "Oh yeah, Captain Teva, you were right. We need to start paying attention to what's going out there, or there's gonna be a First Order that's gonna pop up anytime now."
Right.
So yeah, I think we're gonna see that her progression of this later part of Mon Mothma. Let's get into one of my favorites, callbacks and Easter eggs.
Woo!
All right, I'm gonna say my favorite callback is the fact that when Ahsoka and Anakin are facing off with each other at the end of Shadow Warrior, and Ahsoka has got the lightsaber to Anakin's throat, she throws the lightsaber away. And this is really reminiscent of Luke throwing away his lightsaber at the end of the battle in Return of the Jedi. And because both do not want to go down the path of the dark side, which is the fight, they want to use whatever skills they have to get through this situation, just like Luke. When he threw away that lightsaber, that was the return of the Jedi. He's not going to use the lightsaber to do the talking for him. Just like Anakin kept saying, you know what? If you want to live, you have to fight. And Anakin and Ahsoka's like, nope, I'm going to throw away the lightsaber. So you have to get that parallel with Ahsoka and Luke. To me, that was the essence of Ahsoka at this point.
That's my favorite moment of Luke's.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. I feel like when Ahsoka says Thrawn comes back as heir to the Empire, like that. And of course we hear that in the trailer too, but that's just such a direct nod and love letter to that 1991 novel by Timothy Zahn that began or just deepened Star Wars fandom for so many of us, me especially included. So.
Oh, we heard that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I started crying.
We know where we're going. Mic drop on this.
Yeah, I felt like Peter Griffin. He's like, they said it. They said it.
Yeah.
Cut to the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Cut to Peter Griffin. They said the thing. They said it.
Yeah.
Now Jeff is saying a really good Easter egg here. He says, I loved the view from inside the Purgle's mouth. So much of the Empire space slug from Empire Strikes Back. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was getting Pinocchio vibes when they went inside the whale's mouth.
So yeah, I got Nemo vibes initially from that. I was also thinking Jack Sparrow's up against. Sorry, Captain Jack Sparrow. I had to preface that. Is up against the Kraken, but also very much what Hal Hickel called the True Lies spot that was in the Rogue One trailer when Jin was supposed to face off against a TIE fighter. That was in the trailer, but it was not. That whole scenario is just awesome in itself. And can we talk about also how the Purgles opened up for the hyperspace jump? How cool that looked.
Yeah.
And a referencing, of course, Star Wars Rebels, where they do that.
Yeah, when their tentacles all light up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a big Pink Floyd light show.
So it's
Love
incredible.
that. Yeah, I was wondering how is Ahsoka in this little T6 shuttle? How is she gonna jump to hyperspace? Oh, inside of Purgle's mouth.
But when she looked up and saw the Purgles, I'm like, all right, something's gonna happen with this. You know, it was great to get to this point, and like I said, it was a love letter. The only thing that I would have liked in this episode would have been Thrawn, or at least just to see the back of his head. But literally, we got everything else that we wanted out of this episode, like literally, and then some.
I think they're going to pay homage to this in the new Star Tours iteration when they start putting in Ahsoka scenes in Star Tours. I think we're going to fly in the mouth of a Purgle.
That would be so cool.
And the Purgle's going to say, Rich, sorry, still not a rebel spy. Sorry.
Yep.
I didn't know Purgles could talk.
Yeah, right?
That's amazing.
All right, with that now, Sarah, let's talk about one of your favorite themes, and that is themes.
Yes, music. So, Richard, we have an answer to the Ahsoka end credit theme that we were going on about in, what was that, episode
431.
431.
Mm-hmm.
You thought that the slow section in the Ahsoka end credit music was Marion's theme.
From Raiders, yes.
I thought it was a reference to Leia's theme. Well, we've been doing a rewatch of Star Wars Rebels, and we came across Hera's Heroes, the episode, and at the very end of that episode, when Hera, let's see, she gets out of Thrawn's grip with her Calicori, and she escapes, and she's talking to the rebels, we hear this theme. And it's the same theme that was in the Ahsoka end credits. It is Hera's theme. So, I'm going to play for you the Ahsoka end credits music, and then we're going to hear Hera's theme. Now here is Hera's theme.
Yeah, so we should have known what Kevin Conner was doing and not playing homage to Marianne Ravenwood.
Really? Oh my gosh.
He was definitely very much, and you could tell that his stylization is very much a tribute to John Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
So now what I also discovered is there's more to the Ahsoka end credits, and I have to say I need to talk about a retraction because I made a mistake on that episode 430. I confused Sabine's theme for Ahsoka's theme. So the end credits of Ahsoka is made up of Ahsoka's theme, Sabine's theme, and Hera's theme. Isn't that cool? And then kind of mixed in with, Kevin Kiner's own brand of this is the theme for this show. Mm-hmm. So let's hear, first of all, Ahsoka's own theme, and then we'll hear it in the end credits. All right, so here is the Ahsoka theme in the end credits to Ahsoka. Okay, so that's the Ahsoka theme. And then finally we have Sabine's theme. So here is Sabine's theme from Trials of the Darksaber. And here is is Sabine's theme in the Ahsoka end credits music.
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. It's interesting how Sabine's theme and Ahsoka's theme are very close together. They use much of the same
instrumentation.
Lyrics. Oh, the same like notes. I would say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You see, they're so much better when they work together.
Did Hu Yang join us? Hu Yang, is that you out there?
It's like poetry or rhymes, didn't you know?
That is amazing, Spencer. Exactly. I think Kevin was listening to Hu Yang.
Yes. Christopher Marino says in the Sky Chat, Kevin Kiner is so good. He gets the heart of Star Wars.
Absolutely.
And now, when we see Thrawn, when the Thrawn theme rolls in, as Thrawn walks into the frame, you see the back of his head. We hear that Dracula music.
The organ music.
The organ music. Oh, that's my favorite Kevin Kiner theme. Eerie, universal horror music.
I mean, the place went absolutely nuts when we saw the original director's cut trailer in London with his face for the first time, and before they brought Lars on stage, and everybody just went absolutely crazy.
Wow.
And there was an interview with Dave recently, obviously, pre-strike, saying that they went back and forth of who they're going to bring in for Thrawn, and he said, I write it with Lars's voice in mind. There's no one else in my mind that can do it.
Yeah, just rewatching Rebels now and hearing Thrawn speak, it's just so slow and methodical.
And his love of art, like, just like his characterization, they get it, like exactly how Timothy Zahn laid him out in those Heir to the Empire novels. I love it.
Just when you thought you couldn't get any better than Darth Vader as a Star Wars villain, they give you Thrawn.
Yeah.
All right, now, Spencer, if you were to nitpick, let's say if you were to nitpick about these two episodes, what would you say? Like, if they had asked me, I would have said to do this.
One of my biggest gripes in the whole series is who's feeding the loft cat.
Yeah, we need to cut back to Sabine's tower and see what's happening with that loft cat.
Yes, just because, I have a cat and I understand. Personally, I'm not really finding much fault in this show just because I'm completely engaged. One thing I said is that after episodes 1 and 2, it kind of felt like I didn't care what the medium was. It felt like a logical progression from animation to live action. So it didn't feel like it was different because we saw same characterization, same characters, and you already knew the backstory. So I didn't feel like I was jumping into something new, live action. I think that, for those who did not watch Rebels or Clone Wars, there are going to be a lot of confused people. And I understand why they did it there. I mean, my wife didn't watch it, but she honestly picked up on it. She was like, okay, I understand it. I didn't even watch that. But then the general public who are, not animation fans are going to be like, why do I have to watch an animated series to get a live action product? And I understand that. So I think that Dave, in the same process, had a very difficult job in that, and he's trying to do the best he can. But I did see a lot of people online saying, they were very disappointed that they're leaning so deeply into the animation, into live action, that it's overwhelming.
One of my friends, she's watched all the Clone Wars and Rebels, but her husband has not. And so, like, when they started watching Ahsoka, he would, like, ask questions every 2 minutes. And finally she said, okay, I need to watch it first by myself. Then you can come in and watch it and ask all your questions. But she needed, she was stopping it too much to enjoy it for herself.
I don't know. Kelly Turkel of the Neverland Clubhouse.
Yes.
She's not a big Star Wars fan. And when we did our Ahsoka Zoom discussion, she said that she didn't know the nuances, but she was able to follow it.
Right.
And that's what's really important. I think if you're gonna jump into a show like this, you can't go in blind expecting to know everything because it's just not gonna happen.
It's like me watching some Star Trek stuff. It's like I know there's stuff that relates to certain series that I haven't watched or maybe watched once, but I still enjoy it.
None of these will be a standalone. It just can't happen with such a huge universe of characters and stories. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm just excited. Like I said, this is a great time to be, a Star Wars fan. We're getting so much, content right now. Kelly heard her name. Her ears were tingling.
Hey, Kelly, we're just talking about you.
Are you still enjoying Ahsoka?
Okay, Sarah, if you were to nitpick.
Oh, okay, so...
And I use that word very, very definitively, nitpick, because these episodes were A pluses all around.
They were. I think my only thing would be Jason called the Purgle whales. And it's like, I mean, call him Purgle, otherwise it's too close to Star Trek. In my opinion, you know?
And he knows enough about lightsabers to call them lightsabers. It's like when Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace called Qui-Gon's lightsaber a laser sword. Ooh. It's like, okay, he doesn't really know what a lightsaber is, so I think him calling it a laser sword works. But at this point, Jason knows what Purgles are.
Luke also called it a laser sword in Last Jedi. What do you think? I'm going to go take on the whole First Order just with a laser sword?
Oh, wow.
I think that he was really making a point to say, with his little tiny weapon, his little laser sword, I can't take on this whole First Order.
Okay.
I think he was using it more as a put down. Well, yeah. In the end, he did. You take him down with a laser sword.
Yeah.
And for those of us who grew up in the 1970s with those knockoff lightsabers, they were all called laser swords. So whenever they mention laser swords, like, oh, is it going to be like a little flashlight with a tube taped to the light part of the flashlight?
That's funny.
But that's like what the joke was with, like when they were underground in Posada, when Rey puts on her lightsaber and then Pose with his flashlight.
The flashlight.
I was like,
with that dinky little sound effect.
Okay, that was a joke to all of us who've done that. I get it, and that was bad. But yeah.
I love that joke. That was one of the biggest laughs of The Rise of Skywalker.
It was so funny.
But because, once again, I think for me, it called out to the fans who just had that little rinky-dink knockoff lightsaber with that plastic tube that kept falling off of the hilt.
Oh, okay. And Kelly has updated us. Yes, she is enjoying Ahsoka.
Oh, good.
All right, so Richard, did you have any nitpicks?
Yeah, like I said earlier, if we had Ashley Eckstein in there playing Ahsoka,
at least for one of those scenes,
at least for one of those flashbacks,
that would have been cool.
I think that would have been that would have been so appropriate. And then acting alongside her was Matt Lanter playing Anakin. I know we're getting really messy here, and people watching it would have gone, what is happening? But for us, we would have just really loved that. I don't know how it would have worked. Maybe because this Ahsoka, well, yeah, it could have worked on some levels. Because she was seeing Anakin as Darth Vader. Maybe if she'd seen him as another version of Anakin, I think Dave Filoni is well-versed in filmmaking techniques that he could have figured this out.
Well, you know what? They travel together a lot for cons. Maybe behind the scenes, they'll recreate that scene themselves.
Yeah.
Because they do that a lot with James Arnold Taylor, and the three of them they're so cute.
And then if you're going to go with Hayden Christensen as Anakin in those Clone Wars flashbacks, get Ewan McGregor just to pass by in the background as Obi-Wan. That would have been, these are little nitpicky things that I understand it would have taken you out of the scene, but still, that would be so awesome.
It's all happening in Ahsoka's head, so you can do anything.
You can do anything you want, yes.
It's almost like the whole Quicksilver thing that you got in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They recasted him? What? And we're all like...
They recast Pietro? Yeah, that was so funny. Oh, Lee here is saying, Filoni said that he will end the Ahsoka story arc in animation with Ashley.
Oh, where and when did he say that?
Yeah, let us know, Lee.
Well, if you're going to do Ahsoka in animation, you've got to use Ashley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's why I love those Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, very much so.
So much.
Yes.
Oh.
So
wow.
I just want to see more of a combination of the Clone Wars animated series with the Star Wars prequels going on in these flashbacks. If you're going to go there, let's go all the way there. Maybe throw James Arnold Taylor in as Obi-Wan. We've seen him in the Obi-Wan costume from the Clone Wars. Let's put him in there somehow.
Were any of you thinking that when we saw Hayden dressed up like Matt Lanter, we were going to see Ewan in his General Kenobi white stormtrooper outfit?
Yeah, I thought we were going to go there. I really thought.
Yeah. That would have been so cool.
But we got so much in these scenes, we didn't really need anything more. But once again, if you're going to go there, let's just go there.
Yeah.
And then, like I also said earlier, why not have Captain Rex voiced by D. Bradley Baker? And I know you get to stay continuous with the films and have Tamara Morrison voice him. I get it, but come on.
Okay. And Lee is saying that he saw Dave mention that in an interview shortly after Celebration. And he is working on another set of Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's true.
So possibly that could be where it is. Okay, thank you, Lee.
All right. So let's wrap things up with, where do we think we're going to see Thrawn? I thought we were going to see him in this episode, Shadow Warrior. That didn't happen. So, Spencer, what do you think? Are we going to see him in the next episode?
I hate to say I think we're not going to see him until episode 8.
No.
I think if we haven't got him yet, we're not going to get him or Ezra until the very end.
Well, okay, so I think, I hope next episode, because we do see him in the trailer on the Eye of Sion.
Mm-hmm.
We see that.
Yeah.
So, and the Eye of Sion is now traveling to
the other galaxy.
The other galaxy. We're not going to see the travels. We're going to go right to the other galaxy next episode, in my opinion. So I feel like we're going to get their side of the story, what's happening, because we got to get back to Sabine now, Sabine and Baylan. And I can't wait to see that. Oh my God. I love Baylan so much.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him at the very end of this next episode.
Maybe, yeah. Even though that's what you keep saying every time.
Yeah, I know. Because we keep leading up to it. We can't wait until the tag for episode 8, the way they do with Andor. It's like, oh yeah, this is what all of the Narkina 5 prisoners were building, the Death Star. You're not going to keep it for a tag like that.
It better not.
As a trailer for the film.
We're going to find him on Batu.
Yeah. Okay, Kelly's saying episode 7, penultimate one. That's her guess. Okay. I love it.
You know, look on IMDb. Sometimes they slip.
Yeah.
And they reveal what they shouldn't.
Okay.
All right, so let's wrap it up there with our discussion on Ahsoka episodes 4 and 5. Wow. This has been just amazing storytelling. And so, Spencer, tell us once again about your tour of 24 and where people can get tickets.
Yes, we're going to be doing a tour of California next July into August, the week after San Diego Comic-Con, starting in Los Angeles, heading over to Anaheim, San Francisco, and back. Star Wars events, autograph signings, karaoke at every stop. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets go on sale December the 1st. Lots of public events, lots of private events, and just an opportunity for Star Wars fans and members of the Skywalking family and the Virtual Cantina family to get together and have an incredible time. Yeah, and as Jeff just said, the week before D23. So if you got 2 weeks to take off, you could have quite a vacation.
I'll say. Woof.
Oh my goodness. All right, then where can Skywalkers find you on social media?
Best place to check me out on social media is at the Virtual Cantina Network, which we are at Virtual Cantina Network on almost every site, including Hive and a few others that we keep on jumping over. X, formerly known as Twitter. But also you can check us on our home planet, our motherboard of mothership of Virtual Cantina Network, which is at SW Celebration Japan 2025. Look for the group. That's 61,000 members.
On Facebook.
And growing.
And growing.
All right. Well, thank you, Spencer, and thank you to all the Ahsokites in the Sky Chats.
Yes, thanks for commenting and sharing your thoughts. We love it. And, oh my gosh, do we have an outro for Ahsoka?
Thank you, Ahsokites.
There we go. All right.
This is the way.
And as Hera said, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
That wraps up episode 432 of Skywalking Through Neverland. I don't know about you, but it was very cathartic.
It was. Just talking about Ahsoka and getting all those feelings and thoughts organized.
Yeah.
So thanks to Spencer for coming on and helping us do just that.
And thank you so much to all of you Skywalkers who comment, who watch us live, who chat with us, and listen to the podcast version of this episode. We love all of you.
And we love when you buy our Star Wars books. I was trying to think of a segue.
That's a good one.
All right, so are you interested in Today in Star Wars History Parts 1 and 2 and Skywalking Through My Fandom, the interactive notebook? They are available now at skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book. And anyone who bought copies at Long Beach Comic-Con, we thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you like to support Skywalking Through Neverland? Would you like to be a part of our 10th anniversary after party?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can support us through the Skywalking Force, our Patreon. And not only will the Skywalking Force be a part of that special 10th anniversary after party, but it also has access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions on the latest Disney Plus shows. Right now, I'm rolling out some previous Zoom discussions on that special Patreon podcast feed back from The Bad Batch and The Mandalorian Season 3, but we're also going to be sharing those discussions on Ahsoka as well. So they will also get a coupon code to use for our books.
Awesome.
And this bonus content begins at only $5 a month, so head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at the options, and thank you so much to those of you who are part of the Skywalking Force.
Now, we also want to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park? We can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check it out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you, or whisper Skynet, or just say that you're an Ahsokaite.
And the new Disney Treasure cruise ship was announced, and they have started booking. And I believe the debut cruises are going to happen in December of 2024, and you can start booking those now through smallworldvacations.com. It sounds like an amazing ship, very like Adventureland focused. It's really, really exciting. So smallworldvacations.com, check it out.
We went on a Disney cruise and we're hooked.
Yeah.
Now, we are part of the Skywalking Network, where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and
Today in Star Wars History. Now, if you want to find us on social media, Sarah, where do they go?
You can find us at Skywalking Pod most anywhere. Twitter, Instagram. I think we're on Hive. We're on X. We're on Threads. Yeah, all at Skywalking Pod. Just search for that. We also have our Facebook group. So just search Skywalking Through Neverland and you can join the group or like the page. Also, we are on YouTube, and this is where we share our shows. You can see us talking. You can see us recording. You can also see like the little Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Hocus Pocus, all the things we show to you guys, because it's really fun to connect with you on that level.
Yeah, I think our podcast is more fitting for a visual medium.
Yeah, it's really fun. So yeah, you can find us there, youtube.com/skywalkingthrough-neverland. And also email those 10th anniversary videos or clips to share at skywalkingthrough-neverland.com.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember
to feed your Purgles and your Lothcats.
And Neverland on Alderaan.
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.